Welcome arm wrestlers, I'm Pradeep Singh from Arm Wrestling News. An interesting comment from Levan Saginashvili about his countryman and sparring partner Gennady Kuyukvenia. Many people think that Gennady Kuyukvenia is still a dangerous opponent for me and that I have to pull with him to show my level. But I don't think so. I believe that Gennady has already passed his career peak of physical shape and the wrist injury and the surgery have also left their mark. Gennady Kuyukvenia is someone who has beaten Levan in the past. Many elite arm wrestlers consider Gennady in top tier, but Levan has always been in disagreement with that claim. He has said many times that Gennady is not top 5 in the world, maybe not even top 8 according to him. If you remember, in 2018, Gennady lost to Dave Chaffee 4 pins to 2, and in all the 4 rounds, he lost his wrist to Dave Chaffee. After that match, both Igor Mazurenko and Gennady himself mentioned that his wrist wasn't 100% after the injury and that is why he lost the match. Igor visited Georgia last month to film some content and discuss the possibilities of Levan vs Devon match. There he witnessed some friendly sparrings between Levan and Gennady was losing his wrist every time. Maybe that's the reason why PAL posted this photo on their official page. If you follow the Georgian arm wrestling channel closely, sometimes in practice Gennady loses his wrist to a 90 kilos Irakli Zirakashvili too. I know it is just practice, but that is definitely not a good sign for a super heavyweight who wants to be on the top. So there is definitely some truth in Levan's statement. Gennady wanted a match with Michael Todd before King of the Table, and after Michael lost to Devon, he wanted a match against Devon. I think both Devon and Michael would beat Gennady comfortably. I was never the one to believe that Gennady is top 5 in the world. I think he is definitely top 10, maybe even top 8 in the world on a good day. Anyways, Gennady Kuyukvenia would most definitely be on the card of King of the Table 2.0 in November this year. Let's see who he faces there and how he performs. Then the arm wrestling world would be able to better assess his current situation because he hasn't had a super match in last 2 years. If you want to know how to climb the rankings without having a super match, watch this video in the end. Next up in the news is Devon Larratt and Matt Mask with a very funny and very interesting agreement for their next super match. Devon and Matt were fishing together and having a discussion about buckle or non-buckle arm wrestling. And Devon said that if Matt catches the last fish, then he would have the buckle in all the rounds in their next super match. Matt offered the same deal. He got the last fish, he won, and Devon is going to have the buckle on his hand in all the rounds in their next super match. When? We don't know yet. These two doesn't even look the same as 2018 when Matt used to hate the guts of Devon. Good to see this friendly and still somewhat competitive way to decide a stipulation for a match. By the way, we will discuss this topic further in later part of this video, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel while your focus is still on this video. Larry Wheels vs Mike Aiello. Larry Wheels has been in New York for more than 2 months now. Since then, he has had only one arm wrestling practice session. This video isn't recent. I think this practice session was almost a month ago. In one of my videos, I notified the date when Larry was going to pull with Mike Aiello, but now I forgot it myself. But I think it is somewhere in 4 weeks range. The entire arm wrestling session was ready-go matches. It started with Larry Wheels vs Mike Aiello best of 5 super matches, right and left-handed. And as expected, Mike Aiello dominated Larry Wheels 3-0 right-handed. Mike always says that he doesn't know how to top roll. So interestingly, he tried to top roll Larry, but it didn't work. So he went back, or should I say he was forced back to his inside game, and still he pinned Larry easily from there. Larry defeated Mike 3-0 very easily left-handed. But I have never seen Mike Aiello pull left-handed. I couldn't even find one video of him pulling left-handed. Michael Todd mentioned an interesting thing when he said that Larry told him that he wants to be the #1 arm wrestler in North America. But now he's taking a few months break from arm wrestling to compete in powerlifting. Michael's concern was that he has never seen an elite arm wrestler who takes a break to compete in other sports. Since other arm wrestlers are continuously leveling up, this may diminish Larry's chances of becoming elite even further. I don't blame Larry for this because he is already an elite in powerlifting. Why would you leave a sport in which you have held world records for a sport where you haven't even won a single match yet? Larry is 27 years old and already has 2 years experience in arm wrestling. If you look at all the elites of the world, many of them were winning national titles within their first 2-3 years. I don't like to be hated, but I don't think Larry has what it takes to be an arm wrestling champion. But along with Devon and Schoolboy, he is the best thing that has ever happened to arm wrestling. So in that manner, I wish I'm proven wrong. It would be fun and a practical decision for Larry to keep organizing King of the Table events every year and keep pulling at his own events with a couple of months training. But number one in North America looks like a pipe dream. Alright, buckle or non-buckle arm wrestling. Todd Hutchings and Artem Taranenko from Top Roll Kings production started this discussion about buckle or non-buckle arm wrestling. I mentioned earlier in this video that Devon and Matt Mask were also discussing the same. There are some people who think the buckle doesn't matter like Todd Hutchings, and some think that it definitely does matter like Ryan Bowen. I'll cut long story short. If you are a top roller, your answer will most likely be a yes, it matters. And if you are a hook arm wrestler, your answer can be a no, it doesn't matter, or I don't know, depending on how much you have thought about it. And you can see this trend everywhere. Only top rollers complain about the buckle side. Todd and Artem asked us to count the number of wins and losses with or without the buckle in a tournament. But I don't think it is the right way to come to a conclusion, because we face a variety of different opponents in a tournament. The only way to confirm this is to look at super matches between a fixed set of arm wrestlers. There are a lot of examples of arm wrestlers who go back and forth depending on the buckle side. Devon and Michael arm wrestled 11 times before their last match, and 9 out of 11 times the person with the buckle on their hand lost the match. That is interesting. Ryan Bowen versus Heta Morris, Ryan Bowen versus Evan Burgoyne, Ryan Bowen versus Chen Shaw. The buckle determined everything in all these matches. There are many more examples where someone wins just because they won the toss and got the non-buckle side in the first round. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who thinks like you. My name is Pradeep and I thank you so much for watching.